bombshells all day yesterday in the NBA with big trades and head scratchers all around. So to try to make some sense of it is our good friend Arthur Trish, the former Atlanta Hawks media relations executive. AT, appreciate you for joining us right now, and let's get right to the heart of the matter. What the hell was Boston thinking? Okay, I'm serious because look, you look at any measurable and you compare Paul George to Jaylen Brown, even with the crazy analytics aside, you traded down and gave a team in your division a leg up, if you ask me. I mean, how do you think that works out?
First of all, in your division.
Right.
Okay. Secondly, Jaylen Brown is 6 years younger. Okay. Thirdly, Paul George has been breaking down for the last 4 or 5 years. Okay. Now, he can still be effective at times. Consistently, I have no idea. The Celtics and the Lakers are the over the hill gang in terms of leadership and stature right now, because neither they've been the memes have been as we know, the internet is
It's
unforgiving,
vicious.
and the memes have been outrageous. I mean, people got calling the Lakers the second chapter of the Minneapolis Lakers, and, and maybe they should move back because all the starters are basically all white. And I mean, I'm not trying to cast any aspersions here,
But
but
still,
it is what it is. Okay, and the last time I saw an all-white Lakers team was darn near Minneapolis. Okay,
right.
and Boston, hell, they were one of the first teams with an all-black starting five. So that doesn't necessarily apply in the Brown George trade, but the fact that they traded in division, and that weakens Boston immeasurably in my opinion. I know people have been saying for years that the two Jaylen Brown and I'm drawing a blank. Tatum, Jason Tatum,
Okay.
have not gotten along. I don't know whether to believe that now, because neither one has gone on the record to bash the other. Now,
I
maybe
don't
that'll
believe it
happen
either.
now that they're separated. But it's man, you keep talent. If there's anything in any sport, you keep talent till the wheels fall off. Okay, the Celtics lost a step last year. Excuse me, with Tatum being out and Brown literally carrying that franchise because they had lost so many other guys on that roster. And it, but now I think, I don't know Jaylen personally. I know he's from Metro Atlanta, like the rest of us. Excuse me. You can see I'm kind of
Yeah,
passionate.
I see. Yeah, but he's a strong-willed personality who's got some consciousness and knows how to articulate himself. And the question I would ask is that, and I asked David Aldridge this the other day,
Mm-hmm.
could he be guilty of being a literate black man who knows how to express himself
Right.
and that ruffled the feathers of the Boston front office?
It possibly could. I mean, they have a new ownership in place right now. I don't think if Wick Grosbeck was still in charge, that trade would have happened. I don't know anything about the new owner, but it's there's just a wealth of changes flying around the NBA right now with these new owners. I don't know how to describe them. I don't know how teams should feel comfortable, whether it's the basketball side or the front office side. The NBA league office laid off a bunch of people yesterday. I don't know if you know that.
I didn't.
I don't know how many. So I'm sure I know some of the people that might have been affected by that, and my heart goes out to them. Portland, their new owner, who also, excuse me, owns the Carolina Hurricanes, who just won the Stanley Cup, purchased the Trailblazers maybe 3 or 4 months ago, and was ratified. This dude laid off 75 people, some of whom I knew, and the Lakers laid off several people. I think maybe 15 to 20 from their franchise recently. So some of these teams were top heavy, and that's in all sports. A lot of these teams are top heavy as it is. I mean, I know from my days of being in the NBA and being with the Hawks, I look at the rosters of so many. Every time I'm watching games, I'm looking behind the bench, at least from a basketball standpoint. I'm like, what are all these people doing? It's like you got not only your players and coaching staff, but the back row has just as many people on it,
Right.
and it also exists also in the WNBA these days. And it's like, I guess these owners can account for them, but I don't know if they're gonna. Can you keep up that pace? I have no idea because hell, everybody takes a page. It seems these days from Washington, and with them deciding to release a lot of civic employees, this, that, and the other. It's like everybody else wants to march to that drum, and a lot of good people are losing their jobs. But it back to the Boston trade. I don't get it. In division, hell, you and me, when we first met each other, you know I'm a Saints fan. I know you're a Falcons fan. I don't hate the Falcons, but I don't know if I'd be comfortable with the Saints front office trading with the Falcons and vice versa. Okay, because this rivalry, like we know, is one of the most underrated rivalries in the NFL, as far as I'm concerned. There may be hatred amongst the teams, but the Atlanta base and the New Orleans base, because of the proximity, it's easier to get to the games. It's one of the best rivalries in the NFL,
It
in
is.
my opinion. And I'll argue anybody down. I don't care about Dallas and Philly, New York and Philly, New York and Dallas,
Dallas and Washington
all
is
that stuff. Uh, it's the not unwritten rule. It's the most underrated. I'll put it that way. The most underrated rivalry in the NFL is New Orleans and Atlanta. And when those two teams had Matt Ryan and Drew Brees rocking and socking on Sundays during the season over those 10, 11, 12 years they went against each other, and Peyton being petty Peyton all the time on the sidelines, we know exactly what it was all about. So you wouldn't expect those two teams to do a complementary trade to help the other one. I don't know what or why this trade happened, because it's also funny that it happened once Daryl Morey is up out of there, because I never really was a big
he's
fan of
got
that dude.
pictures on somebody.
And, bro, I
Also,
mean, that dude, you talk about lasting a lot longer
man,
than he should have. And uh, I know I saw some clips this morning that JAYLEN and Embiid were sideways throughout the last 2 or 3 years or so. So, I mean, hey, he's on his team now, so things will, I'm sure, improve. But it's still baffling that that trade took place. I mean, the Giannis trade, you could understand that. While it's in the East, they're separate from each other. The moves happening with LeBron, I can understand that too, because I felt that if anything was going to happen with LeBron, he was going to first have to adjust his ego to accept less money from any team he plays for, because you can't keep paying some guys big money each and every year. And being 40 plus years or whatever his age is right now,
41.
I mean, it's not. Father Time catches up to everybody,
He
and
does.
at some point in time, if you're trying to win a championship, which is it? Are you trying to win a championship, or are you trying to make all the money in the world? Because at some point in time, you may not be able to do both. And so that the history is now written, and he's not going back to the Lakers, and we'll have to see where he ends up. Here's where I think, in my opinion, he should go. I know a lot of, and we this has been, I won't say the stupid word funnest, but it's been an exciting week from the standpoint of chats. My text line has been blowing up. The conversations back with some of my old NBA buddies, we've been just throwing out ideas, this, that, and the other, shooting down some ideas, rolling on the floor about others. But you should go to your Knicks. And here's why I say that. They're the defending champs. You're playing in the Mecca. You can still get all the endorsements in the world. Now you're gonna have to battle Jalen Brunson for some, because hey, he's king of
He
New
is king
York
of New
right
York,
now, and deservedly so.
as he is.
And uh, we'll see just how committed he is to winning a championship. I did hear an interesting team this morning on Sports Center about Denver, and that's an interesting team for him to look to go to, as is OKC. San Antonio was on that list yesterday, but with them signing Tobias Harris, which
Which
surprised
was a
me.
great look for them.
Yeah,
That's a
he
perfect
gives them
fit.
experience.
Yes.
The dude plays hard, and he's been around the block, and he's going to help those young kids that they have down at San Antonio. Now, he's not going to be able to walk. And even if LeBron were to go there, you're not going to walk into that franchise or that team and supersede Victor Wembanyama. That dude is a different cat,
Yeah.
and he's already made it known. He's not the same kind of rookies or the same kind of European players that we've gotten into this league over the years. Because the way he showed me a lot during All-Star Weekend as to how he assumed the mantle of being a leader of his team. He was there, committed to play hard, there committed to win. And the young man is wise beyond his years, but he still has a
He
lot to learn. So the veterans can certainly help him, but you're not going in there thinking you're going to be running the show. It's Victor's team. And so you've got to make that adjustment too. So, but LeBron goes to New York. We all know he's going to be revered in that town. So it makes all the sense. And although one of my buddies mentioned Philly, I don't know how Philly can make it work. But I guess if he's serious about taking less money, then some of these deals he might make happen. I know ESPN also had on the screen yesterday, or whenever the deal went down with him not going back to the Lakers, Miami. I don't see that happening.
Nah, that's not
And
gonna
here's
work.
why. The way he left there and the way he and Pat Riley got sideways, I don't, and I know Riley's got an ego just as much as LeBron have an ego. They're like two bulls in a china shop. I don't know if Riley's going to be willing to want to deal with him again, and I don't know if LeBron is going to want to deal with South Beach and everything about it is very nice, as we know. But I don't know if he's going to want to deal with Riley anymore. So some people may have to apologize for certain things that happened in the past, and do they have the guts and the ego to let those things go go cast aside and water under the bridge? We'll see.
Well, the only reason that I would put Miami in the mix is because of Doral and the pension for LeBron and golf in the winter. That's
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how. I know he's picked up golf.
mm-hmm.
I don't know how good he is at it right now. I'm not a
Well,
golf
look, I
player.
picked up golf about 5, 8 years ago, and I'm still not good. But that don't mean I don't want to. I don't want to go out and hit in the wintertime. That's just a that's a sad commentary on where I get that penchant. But to me,
Mhm.
to your point, as a Knicks fan, if it makes cap sense,
Yeah,
there's a dude because you lose Mitchell Robinson, but you get a game all around player.
right.
That would be a guy that I think could make it back to back, and then he can go ahead and ride off into the sunset, and we'd be happy forever.
Yeah.
After hold that thought, we're gonna come back on the other side and talk more about the changes in the NBA as sports rap continues. It's your boy Professor G. Download the mobile app because we all we got. In 3, 2, 1. We continue with Arthur Drish, our NBA insider, former NBA executive and media relations with the Atlanta Hawks. And when you look at them right now, all right, you want to talk about some changes in roster construction.
Mhm.
Does Atlanta look like they're ready to take that next step into the upper echelon of the East?
A week ago, I probably would have said so. But with other teams making additional moves this week, it kind of shoved Atlanta right back down again. Now, we'll see how some of those new pieces fall into place. I mean, I like the draft pick out of Houston. They picked up in the first round. How much playing time he might get as a starter, I don't know, because you still have C.J. McCollum and you have Nicole Alexander Walker, who had a sensational year for Atlanta last year at two guards. So uh, I think the young man from Houston is going to be coming off the bench early on, and he'll. So I'll take a good look at him at during rookie league, which starts in about a week, and so it'll be interesting to see how he matures and develops out there and gets his mind right as everybody gets ready for the start of training camp in September. But I think Atlanta has made some nice moves. They still need some strengthening along the front line. They're still kind of small. I mean, they brought some reserves back who they had a year ago that will help them, but I don't see them. I don't see them being in the top 4 or 5 right now, in my opinion. Maybe a week ago, before these trades, flurry of trades happened and moves happened this week, they would have been in the top 4. But each and every day we've had some bombshell moves happening in this league, and we'll see what happens today moving on. And maybe Atlanta could be a dark horse in the LeBron sweepstakes. They should make a run at him because here's the other thing: Atlanta has a lot of young talent. At some point in time, you may have to part with some of that talent to get better. And if it means picking up a LeBron James, you need to do that. You need to really think about that because you can only have so many young players as we San Antonio is a different story. But we've seen with some other teams, you can have so many young players and it's still not enough. You need more experience and more guys who have been through the fire that can help you get through those slumps like they did once they were tied with the Knicks in that series and couldn't get up anymore. The Knicks just ran away with the rest of it. And so it Atlanta still has ability to make some moves. They've got, like I said, they've got some talent that they can uh, do some swaps with some teams, some three-way deals, and we'll see if their new GM can, who's now president of basketball operations and did a great job for him over the past year. Maybe he's got something up his sleeve because it would be nice if Atlanta can build on the momentum they had last year and the doors open for them, at least from a city standpoint, because we don't know what the Falcons are going to have going into the season with the injuries at quarterbacks that they have with both Tua and Michael Penix. The Braves have hit a wall all of a sudden. We talked about them a couple of weeks ago, and they were riding high. And the month of June was a disaster for the Atlanta Braves. The World Cup, thank God, has come into a town and taken people's minds off of everybody else because Atlanta has been blessed with the World Cup action they've had out here. It's a shame we haven't gotten Team USA to come through,
Right.
but I mean, we had the Congo match on in England yesterday in our office, and bro, we were definitely rooting for Congo. We wanted those brothers to make it happen, and they just ran out of gas.
They did.
They just ran out of gas because as fierce as they were in the first half, England was just that much better in the second half, and Congo could not. They didn't have the legs to sustain it, and it's been. I've been. You see me rocking my World Cup hat today, and I I
I got
usually
my
buy hats of
throwback
every.
Team
Uh,
USA jersey from back in the
yeah,
days.
yeah. I found some. Hey, if you go to Walgreens, you can get some discounted gear. You don't have to spend your money at all these highfalutin sporting goods stores and spend $60 or $70 for t-shirts and hats and whatever. Walgreens has some deals. I hear CVS has some deals. The scarves and everything like that. I need to go back and get one of those scarves. But I picked up a couple of shirts today, a hat, and everything like that. And at the end of the day, we're sports fans.
Well,
And
let me
so,
ask you this then, since we
mhm,
did kind of take an exit and go over into the soccer thing, because I
yeah,
was definitely going to let it know. But what do you think was behind the red card that following Balogun got yesterday?
I,
Um,
I I missed the play when it happened because I was having car problems yesterday, and
okay.
AAA was outside repairing my battery. And when I came back in, I was like, "Where is he?" And so action had resumed, and they kept saying he had a red card, blah 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 blah.
I mean, to
Much
me,
like
if you're
the
gonna get a red card, it has to be clear and intended.
egregious,
And this was
egregious.
not clear nor intended. And I,
No,
I just wonder if deep down inside, with all the political stuff that goes on, and given the kind of organization that FIFA is, Team USA is going to be scrutinized far more heavy than any of their opponents here down the stretch. I'm not
yeah,
quite sure when something like that happens to a home nation team.
right, right.
That to me served as an agenda because this was not a blatant call. I mean, it was really
Not,
if
not
I'm
in the.
officiating that, I understand that there's going to be incidental contact sometime. You may give him a yellow card, but not the
Right.
red. I thought the red card was over the top,
It's
but
it's
you
like
know,
throwing a player out of the finals
right.
in the fourth quarter. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
what are you doing? And the added penalty of being suspended for the next match. That's
Right.
even worse. And so playing Belgium was going to be a tough task as it is, but it's clear that this guy was the best player on this team right now. Everybody can talk about Christian Pulisic as they desire, and he's very good in his own right. But right now, he's not the best player on that team. and we will be without unless FIFA does something that reverses the suspension for when the next match is Monday.
I don't think that, yeah, it is Monday. I don't think
Monday,
that they're going to do that.
yeah.
But I mean, it's
So,
not like we haven't seen, uh, one game suspension that forced him to sit out, I believe, in 1994.
mhm,
He had picked up two individual yellow cards across different games, and his second yellow card happened in a match during Romania when
mhm,
he failed to stand the what required 10 yards
right.
away on a free kick. So the U.S. to me has always been scrutinized harder by FIFA than any other country. Yet we spend the most money when hosting the event. I kind of don't get where we are with that organization,
You
USA Soccer.
you know what it reminded me of after the match, after learning more about what went down and the ramifications of it all, the '72 Olympics, when that the Russian team in the USA played, was it, I think it was two or three overtimes before the game was finally decided, and the game should have gone to USA in regulation, and they're playing around with the clocks, and it was shenanigans going on, and it cost that USA team they never accepted the medals, they didn't go to the ceremony, and it that was Doug Collins's crew for the most part,
Yeah, that
and
was 1972.
yeah, and it
Yeah.
was a shame. I remember watching that game, and I'm sitting there,
Mm-hmm.
what the heck is going on? And it really dampened the career of Hank Iba, the
It
USA
did.
coach at the time and forever. But you hate when situations like that happen. You hope the referees are being on the up and up, but all we can do is speculate and hope that Team USA can overcome it moving forward on Monday, because the road is not going to get any easier should they win anyway. But you want to have everybody ready to go and healthy if it's not because of injury.
All right, last question for you. It involves two players. Toronto gets Kawhi Leonard to return north of the border. Julius Randle to the Nets. My question first would be, why don't you think Julius Randle has been ever able to stick anywhere? That was one of our Knicks. We moved him. I love the fact that we got Karl Anthony Towns, and the rest, as they say, is championship. But what do you make those of those two players who are, well, at least to the extent that Randle, who just seems to be an enigma, so to speak.
Yeah, it's like he just collects jerseys, and it's not because he's not worthy, but it seems like he just people lose confidence in him, or they don't want him around anymore. It I think Julius certainly can still play. I don't know what Minnesota's doing with
They don't know what he's doing in Minnesota. One of my
yeah,
sources out there just
and
find himself scratching his head.
Letting Randall go, and who was the other one? Shoot, I forget the other big man who they let go last week, and I was like, okay, you made the trade for LaMelo Ball, so while you might have a spectacular backcourt, you have nothing on the front line to go with Gobert. Okay, and good luck to you in the West and trying to compete against San Antonio, OKC. Nah, Minnesota's going to fall off, in my opinion, and so I expect Ant-Man will be the guy voicing a lot of concern approaching trade deadline and after the season, and maybe wanting his departure from that franchise. The other one, why they sent him to the Nets, I have no idea. It's like you just did the dude dirty, and sending Randall to Brooklyn, because Brooklyn has been sputtering along since they broke up the week three when Garnett and Pierce and I forget who the other one who was there at the time, when they didn't get a chance to make it, Garnett, when they didn't get a chance to make it to deep into that playoff run. They had, oh, Durant, I'm sorry, it was Durant. They have not come close to sniffing playoffs since that time, and so I don't see Julius being a answer to helping that move along for them. But they had to send him somewhere, I guess. And the other trade, Kawhi going to Toronto.
I mean, he has won a championship there, and he is
Yeah,
beloved forever. So I guess a lot of the
and
shenanigans that he was doing down here on the mainland would be accepted up there, right?
yeah, because Larry Tannenbaum, as Pablo Torre released his latest missive on it over last night that I watched this morning. A uh, just because he's not with the Clippers anymore doesn't mean that Pablo Torre is going to let that story go. I don't know what the NBA is going to do about it because they haven't made a decision, and it's been going on all season as to the relationship that Uncle Kawhi's uncle. I don't know why I want to call him Uncle Jimmy. It's not Uncle Jimmy, but his uncle. The relationship with the Clippers and the outside firm he was supposedly doing endorsement deals for, of which he didn't do any endorsement deals. He just got money for.
Right.
Can we
Right.
find something like that?
I wish I could.
uh,
He had the ultimate hookup, didn't he? I mean,
yeah,
you think about it, they were
without
paying him under the
question.
table to offset his salary and not go over the salary cap, and then he bolts.
Uncle Dennis is
Okay.
his uncle, and so if you go on Twitter today and look for Pablo Torre, his latest piece on it, I mean, you're sitting there and you're like, I don't know where Pablo got all that information from because I never considered Pablo an NBA guy. I mean, he's a very knowledgeable, smart sports guy, but I leaned on him more for his NFL knowledge than NBA knowledge. But once he got involved with that Clipper story, this dude stayed. He was dogged about it. I mean, he stayed on it, and he's like I said, he did something else overnight, and I don't know if the Clippers will avoid prosecution from the league when this is all said and done. But just because he's moved on to Toronto doesn't mean the NBA won't lower the boom on him if they have to.
So that investigation is still going on, as you
That
understand it. I
investigation
thought it had been.
is still going on.
Oh wow, yeah. I guess the NBA is saying right now, you know something. We gave you the benefit of the doubt, but we're coming back to get you at some point. That's my guy, Arthur Trish, the former media relations executive for the Atlanta Hawks. And in the interest of disclosure, my friend,
Mm-hmm.
I was not a Falcons fan. I've always had the Saints on the side of that rivalry because I spent 5 years of my childhood with my people teaching at Southern. So I
Okay.
lived through Archie Manning,
Okay.
Danny
Okay.
Abramowitz,
Yeah. Yeah.
all those dudes. I
Oh
mean,
yeah. You
I'd sit in
probably
the,
you probably wore a bag.
yeah, exactly. That was a little bit before the bag started coming out
Yeah.
because I
Yes, it
remember
was.
I'm old enough to remember when they played at Tulane Stadium.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And it seemed like the only voice that we got on the games nationally was Lindsey Nelson. And having
Right.
to deal with his voice after the Notre Dame highlights back then. And I know for
Uh-huh.
the old people, I mean, for
Yeah.
the youngsters, they don't have a clue what we're
They
talking
don't
about.
have a
But you
clue.
remember when Notre Dame used to have their highlights on every
Yes, sir.
Sunday? And it
Yes,
would be
sir.
like you lead in from that, you go to, I guess, what, NFL Today, and then boom,
Uh-huh.
here come the
Uh-huh.
Saints. So I have died some slow, painful deaths with Saint fans. And thank God that was my Redskins when
That
we moved back up the
look,
way.
hey, 2009, I was in heaven because when we won the Super
Yes.
Bowl and I got a chance to go to that Super Bowl, and it beats nothing. Then nothing else compares in sports unless you work for a franchise and you end up winning a championship. Which, unfortunately, when I was with the Hawks or the Lions, we never sniffed the conference finals in either sport. But in LSU, I was gone by the time they were winning championships in college football, and Tulane, my other stop, they most recently got into the college football playoffs. So I'm proud of them. But I don't know if they'll be able to keep that pace going because they made coaching changes. Their coach is now in Florida.
The
He's back
committee won't let
softball.
them do that, but that's a
Yeah,
topic for another show.
yeah. So
I'm not even going to, you know what I'm saying.
yes,
Anyway,
sir.
Arthur, thanks for the knowledge as always, bro. I look forward to hooking up again next week.
Most definitely.
Arthur Trish, boys and girls, former media relations executive with the Atlanta Hawks. Stick with us. We will tag up and head for home on the other side. It is OG Sports Rap on the network. Remember, download the mobile app, Sports Rap Network. We all we got.